Want to see how I turn this old and outdated dresser into something fabulous? Then just keep watching. Let's take a closer look at the piece that I'll be working on. This is a mid-century modern Tallboy dresser that I got with a set of nightstands off Facebook Marketplace for $60 total. So I'm going to allocate $30 for the cost of this Tallboy. It's in pretty good shape. The only thing is that, one, it's super dirty, so we'll definitely have to clean it, and it's got some scratches and dings that can easily be fixed. And if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that I love this style of furniture. I just find it so easy to work with, and there's so many different applications that you can apply to this type of furniture to make it look more modern and a lot more interesting. As always, the first step in any furniture makeover is to remove the hardware. These are the ugliest hardware I've ever seen in my life. They look like clips or bows in a hair, or maybe like candies that are wrapped up, but either way they are going straight into the trash. This piece was pretty filthy, so it definitely needed a good clean. I used some Dawn dish soap and hot water and gave the entire piece a good scrub down, and then rinsed all of that soapy residue off with some clean water. Since I knew I was going to be painting this piece, I gave the entire thing a scuff sand with 180 grit sandpaper and my Surf Prep sander. Scuff sanding basically just roughs up the surface slightly so that when I do paint it, the paint adheres to the surface better. If the surface is too slick, the paint won't stick and will peel off very easily. Scuff sanding also allows me to take out any nicks or dings or scratches that may be in the surface, and allows me to have a nice smooth finish to apply my paint to. And then, of course, after scuff sanding, it's important that I wipe off all of the dust that was created, just to make sure, again, that I have a nice clean surface to apply my paint to. If you've watched my other videos, you know that I love adding texture to the front of drawer faces to make my pieces look a little bit more interesting. For this makeover, I was going to use a product that, while I've never used it before, I have seen it used by other YouTubers and their results were pretty stunning. The product I'm going to use for this makeover is called Pole Wrap, and it's used when finishing basements to wrap around the poles or columns in the basement to make them look a little bit more finished and polished. So the pole wrap comes in very long 8-foot sheets in different widths. And so I need to cut the sheets down so that each piece fits the height of my drawer front. Attaching the pole wrap to the drawer fronts was actually pretty easy. I just used construction adhesive called No More Nails, spread that all over the drawer fronts, and then laid the pole wrap sheets down on top of it. I then applied some even pressure to make sure that the pole wrap was really stuck nicely to the drawer fronts and wasn't going anywhere. I used some flexible caulking to kind of seal up the small gap that existed between the pole wrap and the drawer, and this just helped to give me a very seamless, polished finish to the edge of the drawers. While this piece is laminate, the drawer fronts actually did have a very thin layer of wood veneer underneath the plastic coating that was on top of it. So while I had added pole wrap to the bottom two drawers, I decided to sand down the top two drawers and expose that wood grain. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why, but I don't have any footage of actually sanding those drawer fronts down. However, after that was done, I then added a nice warm colored stain to the drawer fronts to finish them off. Applying stain is pretty easy. I literally just paint it on any which way, make sure the entire piece is covered. Let it sit for a few minutes. The longer you let it sit, the darker the stain will come out, and then wipe off all of the excess. When wiping off the stain, I make sure to go in the direction of the grain in long, smooth strokes. I knew I wanted to spray the primer onto this piece. With all of the ridges in the pole wraps, it just would have taken forever to hand paint that. I usually like using shellac-based primer, but I can't use that in my sprayer. So any areas where I was really worried about bleed through, like where I had sanded down to the particle board substrate on the dresser body, I sprayed those areas or spot treated them with a clear shellac spray, and then used a water-based primer by Kills in my sprayer and sprayed the rest of my piece. The paint I chose for this piece was Ash by Fusion Mineral Paint. Ash is a dark gray color. It's almost black. I like to call it an off black color, and I absolutely love it. Fusion Mineral Paint is an all-in-one paint that has a built-in primer and top coat. However, I still prime this piece, as you can see. Because this piece is a laminate, paint does not stick to it very well just because the surface is so slick. And so I always add primer just to give myself that extra sense of security that my paint will adhere and not peel or scratch off very easily. After spraying 3 coats of paint, I then went on to add some polyurethane top coat. So even though Fusion Mineral Paint has a built-in top coat, I always add additional polyurethane top coat on top of this. Because I'm selling my pieces, I want the finish to be as durable as possible. When spraying top coat on dark paint colors, I always add a little bit of the paint to the actual top coat. This just helps to prevent any sort of streaking that can sometimes happen when spraying polyurethane over dark paint colors. Because this product is so thin, when spraying it, I turn my sprayer down to the absolute lowest setting. This just makes sure that too much product doesn't come out of the sprayer and cause strips. And so before I show you the final reveal, let's just quickly go over the numbers and how much this makeover cost me. The dresser was $30. I got it off Facebook Marketplace. Things like paint, top coat, stain, primer, I already had on hand, but I'm still gonna allocate about $30 worth towards this makeover. The pole wrap cost me about $35. And then lastly, the handles cost me about $15. So altogether, my total cost was $110 for this makeover. I sold this piece in about a day for $350. That makes my total profit $240. I spent 6 hours on this makeover, and so that makes my hourly rate $40 an hour. I'm super happy with both my profit and hourly rates on this piece, and now I can't wait to show you what it ended up looking like, and I hope you guys like it as much as I did. And that's it. What do you guys think? Do you guys think you'll be using pole wrap in the future on one of your makeovers? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps me put out more content like this for you. And that's it for this makeover. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!